Michael. Hey, on tonight's episode, I present to you the Archangel Michael Spirit Family. Woo! Love you, Michael. Mikael. The Mikael family, the Archangel Michael family. So, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, what do they have in common? Well, they're all a part of the Archangel Michael Spirit family. Okay. So, hopefully, at this point, you've been watching the series and you're at the point where you understand that race is spiritual and it's not physical. And the first race to ever be born is the Archangel Michael family. So I know when you guys think of Archangel Michael, you're thinking of like a white guy with a sword. These people here that you're seeing are more accurate depictions of Archangel Michael because these are the descendants of the Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael and these beings are one and the same. Okay. Obviously, this is my family.
Yes.
Okay, I have such an Archangel Michael outfit on too. You can see the little muscles tight,
Yeah.
ready to go.
Abdominals.
The abdominals, right?
Ready to dance.
What do you say?
Ready to dance. I look a dancer's outfit.
Yeah, ready to dance. So, what is the Archangel Michael family? So, like I said, this is what you guys think of. This has been the depiction when really we have to start moving out of this depiction and get into this depiction. And that's from the Heavenly Father. The Heavenly Father wants y'all to know who He really is. And it's really important that we stop with this and we start with this. Okay. So, yeah, like what if, like I told you, Archangel Michael is less like this and more like this? Tupac will be a great example of who Archangel Michael is. He's a big angel from the family. I know that y'all don't see our family as angels, but we're the first angels to exist. That's why it's backwards. Like we're seen, I don't know how we're seen, but I don't believe people look at Tupac like he's a big angel. Maybe our family does, but in the world view, we're so intense and we're so passionate, which I'll get to. But we're going to be debunking and demystifying who the real Archangel Michael is and why you guys have been told a lie. Because yeah, we got to quit with this white man. We got to quit with that. Okay? So, who is the Archangel Michael? So, this is the creator's first form. I went into this a little bit on the previous video where I broke down the creator created itself into different forms of itself so it could create with itself. That is our creator. And the first form the creator birthed itself into, like I said, there's a difference between the source energy and the forms, the vessels. So, the first vessel that the creator birthed itself into when we started existing is Archangel Michael. Okay, so Archangel Michael is the Heavenly Father, is the one true quote unquote God. When people talking about the Father in heaven, this is Mikael. Okay, not God. We'll get into who God is later down the line because it's a touchy subject. So it's important that you understand Michael's the first being, the first vessel. And with that being said, Michael personifies the number one. And more than anything, the number one, outside of number one, we have to understand that also the Archangel Michael is the creator's persona because it's the number one. So anything, like if you know anything about numerology, you can associate our family with the number one. Okay. So strength, authority, independence, courage, leadership, joy, power. Okay. These are all things the one is rules over. Number one. But most importantly, when the creator separated itself from itself and created four different vessels, the main aspect of this is the fact that each vessel represents a totality of itself. So the totality, the fullness that Michael represents, the fullness, the aspect that Michael is of the creator is the persona. Okay. So you have to understand Archangel Michael and the Archangel Michael descendants are our source, our being, our creator persona. This is the personality of the creator. It's the first form, right? Think of astrology, the first house. This is what you first see. So when you get to know our creator, the being that we are, we're one being in totality, the being that is our creator with the four aspects Michael, Raphael, Uriel, and Gabriel. Michael is the personality. So always think about personality. I think Drake, you told me you knew I was Michael because of what, Drake? I miss.
You mean what I said to you recently, or what
Yeah.
I said a while ago?
Oh, I don't know why you knew, but I think it's just a good time to bring that up.
What did I say? I said being like the standard, just the standard show.
Oh no, you were just saying I had a big personality.
Oh yeah, big personality, popularity.
Okay, yeah. But I was just getting into that because I want you guys to understand that like those little things that people look past are big indicators of somebody being Michael. Okay? So just think of it like just the persona of you. The first house of our creator is Michael. This is how our creator wants to come across. This is the creator's whole personality, okay? So when you see like Eddie Murphy and James Brown, this is God's personality.
Too funny.
Right, the creator's funny, vibrant, energetic, and extremely charismatic. I feel like that is the biggest indication of a Michael. Like I feel like any Michael is charisma, even when you're dead wrong. Like James Brown, one of my best friends, Shauna, she's like that too. Like she could be dead wrong, but still so charismatic. Like you still want to be around it. Because these are things that the personality rules over, right? Charming.
Yeah.
We got to bring up Elvis. And very, very likable. Okay. Very, very likable. And like one of my good co-workers, Marquis he said the biggest giveaway of Michael is the smile. Because that's a personality thing. Like, the creator's personality, the creator's full of joy, the creator's full of, just laughter and life. And I think more than anything, you have to understand that we are the creator's aura. That's the biggest thing. Like this is the energy of the creator. Michael is the energy and the aura because their personality, the first house is the aura. So Michael family and the descendants rule over the aura of the creator.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there was that TikTok about the aura, but everybody knows the Michael family has the most aura just because we rule over aura. And like I said, so like the Michael family is the energy of the creator. Like we are the creator's energy. And because of that, we are the only family that has the power to harness the energy of the creator. And I feel like a great example of this is when Whitney sang the Star Spangled Banner. Like everybody felt that so deeply because we can harness that pure source energy through our personality. Like through ourselves, you can feel that the channeling of the magical energy. So that's like the strongest thing I would say was the aura, the magical energy, being able to harness that channel of energy through your persona and through your gift. So, like I said, I wrote the word God here in quotes because I know most people talk about the creator as God. So, like, yeah, pretty much it's the magic of God, like God's special touch, like the moonwalk. Like it's something that you can't even describe why you like it so much because it's just so magical. It's the magical aspect of God. Like when people talk about Elvis, they're like, oh my God, his like aura, like it's overwhelming because it's the presence of God. To be around a Michael family member is to be in God's presence. Okay. So this is the creator's identity. This is how the creator sees itself. And That's why we see, like, this song "We Are the Champions." It's a great example because, like, you see yourself as the most confident, as a champion, as a winner, as a warrior. So some of those aspects that you guys talk about down here about Archangel Michael are true. Like Archangel Michael being like a warrior and the best and being militaristic, because those are real things that the one rules over. And that is the identity. And so also Michael rules over like having confidence and self-esteem and these things because it's the creator's personality. So our creator has high confidence, high self-esteem. And more than anything, one represents fame. You could think of it as like the firstborn in a family. And Archangel Michael, like most people know down here, is like the most famous angel in heaven. So like most people know who Archangel Michael is. Just even though you guys don't know who he really is, you guys know of Archangel Michael because Archangel Michael's famous regardless. And that's really important to note too. Like being in this world, no matter what, the angels and the stuff is always going to be down here because you can't escape these truths. So even though you guys don't know who the father is for real, you got the father's presence is still down here. Okay. And this is where Drake can kind of talk a little bit about the classic stuff because this was like one of Drake's observations about the Michael family.
Me and the classic, yes.
Mm.
So I guess what I would say is basically, when I think about a lot of the Michael stuff, I think about like you said, the classic stuff. Even like the classic movies you think of like in your head. Even like I can name like some of them off the top of my head, even if it's like not completely Michael. You know what I mean? It might be like from the Michael family. So it's like just like the classic movies that I would think of, the classic songs, comedians, all that stuff. Michael Jackson, I mean, I don't think it gets any more classic. Like, that is like a standard. Like, it'll be around forever. It's timeless.
Yeah, I definitely think Drake picked up on that strong because in general, when people make the list of like who's the best, they're always going to put Michael on top because that's the heavenly order.
Mm-hmm.
Michael being the first creation, the firstborn child. This is our model to look to for expansion because everything that we create, we have to have something to look at. Me and Drake had to talk about this today about just as you're learning things, you have to mimic things. Like mimicking is the first level of learning. And essentially, everybody's looking at Michael as a bouncing off place for inspiration in the heavenly model. Like you would look at Michael like, okay, because that's the first creation of itself. And you always need something to look at to create that level of like, what's it supposed to be like? So whether it's comedy, we look at Richard Pryor as the best stand-up or Eddie Murphy. If it's rap, it's Tupac. If it's basketball, it's Michael Jordan. This is the standard. This is the best it's getting. And everybody's trying to get to that level or like go past
I'll
that
do
level.
it.
Basically, everybody's trying to outdo it. Everybody's like, nah, I got something better. And so, with that being said, Michael is the icon, because it's the face. So, when you think about an iconic person, they would usually be somebody from the Michael family or somebody who has resonance with the number one. Like I said, Michael was over one. So that's two different things, but it either be something from one, but usually the concept of being an icon is a Archangel Michael family concept because it's the first image of something. It's the most shocking image. It's the most gravitating image. It's the most consuming image of that time period of everything we're trying to encapsulate in a moment. Archangel Michael family captures it, and nobody else can do it in that way of whatever field they're in, whether it's comedy and you got somebody like Lucille Ball. It's like Lucille Ball gonna be the number one comedian. Like we all know that face, we all know that image because it rules over the image, right? First house, the self. So with that being said, it creates an iconic image. even if even if the Archangel Michael family member isn't the one that's iconic, it would still be like, let's say like Mike Myers who creates Austin Powers, and that's an iconic character. So it's like regardless this, or it could be an iconic song. I'm just trying to explain it to you guys. Like it's on the highest level, it's Marilyn Monroe, it's Elvis, it's this crazy level of charisma, iconography, and all that because Archangel Michael rules over iconography because that's Michael's job. And with that being said, Archangel Michael rules over popularity, like fame. So it's the things that are naturally mainstream. Saturday Night Fever is a great example because the Bee Gees, the lead singer's Michael and John Travolta's Michael. So it just creates this crazy level surge of popularity naturally.
Yeah.
That is the Michael essence. It's like it can't help but not be popular because we're all interconnected. And Michael is the oldest. Michael's, just the standard, like Drake said, it's the classic stuff. So most things that Michaels do becomes the classic instantaneous hit effortlessly. Like
Mm-hmm.
even Saturday Night Fever, they didn't even believe in that project. It wasn't something that was like trying to do all these things. But it came out and it became like a popular mainstream classic. So things that are naturally mainstream would also be the Archangel Michael.
Yeah.
Like I said, it always ends up ranking first because it actually is the heavenly order. So like people like who's the best singer? People are gonna say Whitney Houston. If not gonna say Whitney Houston, they're probably gonna say somebody else from the family. So the next thing that's important to understand, like I said, is the fact that the Michael family rules over the natural ability to do something. And this is because Michael is the creator creating from itself without anything before itself. So Michael is creativity without any predecessor, with just the raw creativity. So a lot of people that are like Michael family, it's people that's naturally funny, naturally a good dancer, naturally whatever they are pretty, natural whatever it is, it's going to come across very very natural, not forced at all. Like I said, it's that source energy, that God energy just flowing through them. If you ever watch like Lucy or anybody from the Michael family do something, you can just tell, you can see the channel energy just be flowing through them sometimes, like in a movie scene or when they play sports. You can just feel like this is just happening like out of thin air.
Mm-hmm.
It's not rehearsed. Even when it is rehearsed, it's still flowing.
Yeah.
And with that being said, because this is a really important part, really important aspect, because Michael is the creator's first form of itself and represents creativity and creation. Archangel Michael family rules over sex because sex is creativity and creativity is sex. So when we think about all the sex symbols, they're always going to be Michael family. Like if you have a strong sex appeal.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Halle Berry, Elvis, the heartthrobs, people that, just have a certain, obviously, when you mix the aura with the sex, now we're talking. And another important aspect. I mean, we can talk about more sex symbols. Anything you want to say about the sex?
No, I like her smile there.
Yeah, I love that's a perfect Michael smile.
Mm-hmm.
And Pam's a great example. She has the aura, she has the sex, the effortlessness, just everything about Pam is a great example of the Archangel Michael family. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the next aspect I want to talk about goes back to how you guys know Michael as the military god, right? The head of the army in heaven. And it's true. And so how this translates into this realm is like physical authority and like playing sports. Obviously, Muhammad Ali is a great example of the Archangel Michael family. And we have many other athletes, because sports and violence and anything physical is ruled by Michael. Like I just want to show you guys, like naturally, most Michaels, like I have the most Michael body type. I don't work out. I feel like all of us have that like really tight, like we're like you can say either dancer's body or athletic body. Like I haven't worked out in months. It's just my hips is built up. Everything's just built, ready to go, ready to play some sports,
Natural.
ready to go to war. And I think that's also why it was so great to have Whitney Houston sing that Star Spangled Banner because number one, it's militaristic, it's a sport. It was at the Olympics, so you're talking about sports. These things, it's like the creator put everything together to where you at the perfect place at the perfect time to do something where you represent the fullness of it. So yeah, we rule over sports. That's a big thing. And like just power too, like the power. Like it's all about power. Like I'm not talking about like this fake power concept down here, but like how Aretha Franklin sings with power, speaking
It's
with
like the
power.
ability to move.
What do you say?
It's like the ability to move the room.
Oh, that's a good point, Drake. Look at you. Jesus told you to say that. Oh, yeah. What did Pop Smoke say? Let me shake the room. How about I shake the
Yeah.
room? Yeah, that for sure is the Michael thing. Like when a Michael walk in the room, everybody look. Everybody's like, oh, they're like, Michael's in here. Like, wait, hold on. This is too much.
Wait a minute. This is
Wait.
too deep.
Yeah. Yeah. It is that like, what'd you say? The ability to shake the room or the ability. Yeah,
Yes,
because I would say sometimes it could be the ability to light up the room too. Like bring that light. Like everybody's looking at you. It's a treat.
aura.
But sadly, because of this, we are the most hated family in all the universe. You know, you got to think Michael represents like a certain level of perfection and things like that, which we'll get into down the line. But because of this, it's been a lot of hatred, you know? Like we get the most spiritual attacks, we get the most hatred. We'll talk about how deep it gets down the line, but I want you guys to know that with with great power comes great responsibility. But think of Michael as like the part of the creator that has everything, but like once you have everything perfect, who really is going to stick beside you? Like being perfect and like and it's not that the family's perfect in like a fake sense, but whatever they have, there's a certain level, a certain air of it, of a mystique to the family to where like I'm just gonna say this slightly in this video, but jealousy was birthed because of Archangel Michael. And that's why Archangel Michael killed the devil. Like Archangel Michael was the first person to have somebody jealous of him.
Mm.
So these type of qualities on earth still create this stuff where people will attack you until they kill you. And when I say kill you, I'm talking about either physically like they did Selena or spiritually like they did Britney, or try to kill your image how they did Michael, where now it turned MJ's all these things that we know is not true, you know, but it's so much power and it creates so much jealousy, you know, because it's so natural that if you have any inner problems, you're not going to like the Michael family. It's going to be too much for you. Like I said, Michael also killed the grandfather madam, the devil. So it's like the root of all evil, you know, has a beef with the Heavenly Father. We'll get into that later, but it's like it's just very deep stuff when it comes to this world and Michael's and everything like this, because there's a lot of history here, and that's what we're here to unpack in this age of Aquarius, really, is to deal with these situations. Like I said, this is the family that deals with more spiritual battles, more spiritual attacks, more physical attacks. Any type of attack, if you're Michael, you better watch out. Like we just talked about Pam Anderson, how they got Pam. Like anything you do, they will find it and they will humiliate you. They'll try to kill you. They'll do anything they can to ruin Michael, because Michael is the father. Michael is God. What you guys want to call God is Michael. And this world hates God. So if you Michael, this world gonna hate you. Simple as that. You're enemy number one. Like number one, you also enemy number one. So wake up. And that God character ain't gonna save you. So, like I said, with all the love, you got to be aware of the hate. So, yes, this is heaven's first lineage and the face of God. So, I want to close off with a couple clips of the family just so you can see the aura. Let's first show Marilyn. Very Michael. Let me see if I can play it.
Let's start again. It's a great thrill, and I'm very appreciative to all who's... Let's start again.
Thank you, Mr. Samuels.
See the smile, the light, you can't make it up. Either you got it or you don't. and y'all don't got it.
Literally.
I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for supporting. And if you're part of the Archangel Michael family, I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so happy that you have found this channel and you can know about your true history and learn about your true identity. And stay tuned for more videos on more of the spirit races and the spirit families. And we love you guys. Good night.